What is the swing producer model? It means price control. Price control means setting an effective transaction price, preventing market forces from changing it. However, high prices will induce competitors to enter the market. A dominant supplier thus has a choice. It can achieve short-run profit by rising prices at the expense of losing its dominance in the future, or it can charge a moderate price that supports its market share and generates high competitive profits over time. This is what Saudi Arabia chose, because it has this oil reserve and it has a 75 production ratio. Saudi Arabia is trying to maintain the prices to maintain profits for a long time. When engaged in the latter strategy, the dominant supplier will try to lead the market by signaling what price it strives to maintain as the target price. So the target price was determined by OPEC. It's from starting 1987, OPEC set a reference price, which is the OPEC reference basket, used as a guideline for determining the ceiling of OPEC production. 1987, they determined the $18 is the reference price for their production, and they choose a production ceiling to maintain this price. In the 90s, the minimum reference price was 21. In June 2000, members of OPEC established a mechanism to adjust the supply of oil by 500,000 barrels per day if the 20-day average price of oil moved outside the 22 to 28 price band. If it's over 28, they will increase production. If it's less than 22, they will decrease their production. From June 2003 until November 2007, no target price was determined, but an implicit price resulted from OPEC decision. I tried to follow the OPEC decision for the period where there is no target price was determined, watching their cut of their production. When do they cut their production? What was the price? And when they increased their production, what was the price? I noticed that from November 2003 to March 2004, it was $30 target price. From April 2004 to March 2005, it was 35. From April to October 2006, it was 50. Between November 2006 to November 2007, it was 70. At the end of 2007, it was announced that the target price of OPEC was 75. In fact, King Abdullah himself announced that 75 is a good price for oil in a conference in Jeddah. So what is the model I'm using to analyze the swing producer? Saudi Arabia manipulates its production in order to minimize the difference between the target price and the market price. However, it was not concerned about absolute value. It was concerned about the proportionate difference. Thus, the objective of the function is PT, the target price divided by the market price, keeping the difference between both prices equal to 0. So that the division will be is equal to 1. If the demand were high for OPEC oil, if they are equal, if the BT is is less than PM, that means it will be less than 1. Saudi Arabia will increase its output. If demand were low for OPEC oil, Saudi Arabia would decrease its output. So BT divided by PM will be more than 1. BT will be larger than PM. The model is using BTM, which is the percentage between the target price and the market price. So production of Saudi Arabia will be a function of BTM. Saudi Arabia is a member of OPEC, so it will be affected by the production of other members of OPEC. The function will be production of Saudi Arabia is function of production of other members of OPEC and the BTM. Data included is the sources OPEC Secretariat, monthly data from 1979, January, 2010, December. We have 168 observation. Production data come, OPEC Secretariat use 6 sources, which is known as the Petroleum Argus, Reuters, Petroleum Intelligence, Platts, other sources of data, and take the average of these 6 sources. So we rely on the data for the period as reported by OPEC Secretariat. Price data, we have the market price, which is the OPEC reference basket, the target price determined by OPEC, as I mentioned before, and the source of this data is OPEC Secretariat. Method of analysis, using autogressive distributed lag ARDL co-integration procedure introduced by Bizran et al. in 2001, test for the null of no co-integration against the existence of a long-run relationship, and also estimate the error correction representation of the ARDL model. The result, for the long-run relationship, the equation is, we've noticed that for the OPEC members, the coefficient is 0.34 minus 0.34. For the price, PTM is minus 0.46. And for the price is significant. For the OPEC, for the other members, it's not significant. It's the right sign, but it's not significant. For swing producer role, beta 3, which is the coefficient for the price, which means the difference between the Saudi price and the market price, or the target price and the market price, has an influence on the Saudi output decision. When the ratio between PTM divided by PM decreases, Saudi Arabia would increase its production to lower PM. When the ratio increases, Saudi Arabia would decrease its production to increase the market price. Beta 2 is less than 0, that Saudi has a negative relation with the production of other members of OPEC, which shows we have cartel behavior. So if there is a negative relation when the other members increase the production, Saudi Arabia try to influence the price by decreasing its production. It's very understandable that it's not significant, because Saudi Arabia went through this in the 80s when it's significant and highly significant, and Saudi Arabia increased its production when the other members decreased their production, and the opposite. At the end, Saudi Arabia lost its share of the market. So in the period between 1997 and 2010, Saudi Arabia is very careful and trying to maintain its production quota in the market and not lose its share in the market. Short-term elasticity for the OPEC other members 0.07, and for the price 0.03. It's very low elasticity. I tried to compare my result for this period, 1997 and 2010, with the other period, which is 1976 and 1985, where Saudi Arabia played the swing producer model role. The elasticity is different. For the period 1976, for the other members, it was minus 1.44. It is much larger than minus 0.3 for the recent period. For 1976 to 85, for the price, it was minus 0.87, which is larger than what I obtained in this recent period for 0.46. So Saudi Arabia was a significant swing producer in between 1976 to 1985, while we could say that it's partial swing producer for the period 1997 to 2010. Of course, the world oil market has changed for the two periods. At that period, the non-OPEC supplies increased, also for the recent time, and there is other factors influencing the oil market. It's different than the 70s. Conclusion, Saudi Arabia has a significant role in the oil market. It changes production in order to stabilize the price of oil. We can say the swing producer model is partially applicable to Saudi Arabia because the kingdom changed its production in order to keep oil prices stable. And thank you. That's it.